Yeah, hi. In this tutorial, we are going to cover Matplotlib in Python. So Matplotlib is a library in the Python which is used for the visualization. So data visualization is actually, as you know, it's a representation of data in the form of graph or charts or other visual formats. So we achieve this in Python with the help of a library called as Matplotlib. So the main purpose of representing data visually is to easily identify any patterns or any trends because visual data it helps us to grab our attention quickly. So there are many other Python libraries for visualizations like Seaborn, Plotlib. Okay, we start with one of the very basic Python libraries for visualization, that is Matplotlib. So in Matplotlib, basically there are two styles in which the coding is done. One is the MATLAB style. So MATLAB style is actually inspired by another software called as MATLAB, and there is another style in which the coding is done. It's object oriented style. So this is like our normal object oriented way of doing the coding, and this object oriented style it provides more uh, granular level access to manipulate any individual component of the figure or of the plot. So just before we begin, we need to just understand a couple of terms. So first is the figure. Figure, it's a overall window or the page that everything is drawn on. So for example, if you see here, this the red dotted area, it's basically the figure. So within a figure, we have different axes, A, X, E, S. So axis is basically the area what we plot. So a figure can have one axis or it can have more than one axis. So you can consider axis as also as a subfigure. Now next is the axis. Axis basically represents this x-axis, y-axis on which uh, these labels are represented and the ticks are drawn. L- Legends are basically the different sort of groupings that is done and it is represented. For example, if you see blue dots and red dots here, the blue represents for major axis and red is for the minor. And there's another term called as artist. So whatever object that is drawn is called as artist. Okay, so to begin with, first we have to do is load the library, believing that matplotlib is already installed on your system. So first we are loading a couple of libraries. One is the numpy and other is matplotlib, and the third one is pandas. And we are reading a data from a file. It's an Excel file. So this contains data about the metropolitan areas. Okay, so I'm just reading using pd.read underscore excel to read the data from this Excel file. So once the data is read, we'll just have a quick look at the data. So what we're doing is just saying df.head3. We are seeing the first three rows of the data frame. These are the columns. If we have to check the number of records and the number of columns in the data frame, we say df.shape. So there are 99 records and 10 columns. Okay. To check if there is any missing or any null values in any of these columns, you can say df.sna.sum. So this gives 0. It means there is no null value or missing value in any of the columns because everything is 0. Now we can also check the data type of these columns. Now we notice that there is one column particularly called as region. It is kind of a categorical in nature, but the default data type is coming as numeric. So what we can do, we can convert it into as a categorical because that would make more sense to have this region represented as a category. So we can convert this particular column into categorical type using df region dot as type, and we are specifying the data type in which we want to convert to, which is category, and assigning back to region. Now we can check the data types of these columns. So these are the data types. So everything is like integer or float except for the uh, uh, region which we actually converted into category. Yeah. Now to start with, we'll start with the scatter plot. So in scatter plot, basically dots are used to represent the data points, and it's mainly used to represent the relationship between two variables. So there are two styles, as we said earlier, in which the coding can be done. One is the MATLAB style, and there is the object-oriented style. So let's say if we have to draw a scatter plot in a MATLAB style. So how do we do this? We just simply have to say PLT. So PLT is basically what it is. We have imported this library, import matplotlib.py plot as PLT. So PLT is an acronym for this matplotlib.pyplot. So basically it represents pyplot. So what we are saying here is PLT dot scatter, and we are specifying x and the y. So x means the data point representing on the x-axis and y on the y-axis, and the data is actually coming from this data frame df. And then we are setting other things for this particular graph. These are title, label on the x-axis and label on the y-axis. So title, we are saying plot of percentage, senior versus crime rate, and similarly we are setting the x label and the y labels. So this is what we get. So this is a scatter plot. This is the label on the x-axis, this is the label on the y-axis, this is the title of this particular plot. And yeah, and we see that there is kind of a decreasing trend as the percentage of the senior increases, then the crime rate goes down. So basically in the areas or in the regions where there are more seniors, there's the crime rate is kind of going down. Now there is another way to do the same plotting, which is an object-oriented style. In the object-oriented style, what we have to do, we actually store everything as an object. For example, we start with figure comma ax. So fig represents the figure and ax represent the axis, and we are saying plt dot subplots. And then everything we have to specify using the axes. The difference between the MATLAB style and object-oriented style is that in MATLAB, the Python identifies itself what is the default axis on which we have to do the plotting. Whereas in the object-oriented style, we have to specifically specify the axis on which we have to do the plotting. So every time we have to say like axis, and then what we want to do is a scatter plot, and the column to be represented on the x-axis and the y-axis, and the data where it's coming from a particular data frame. Now we can set the X label, we can set the Y label, set the title, and we can just simply show it. So that's how we create a plot using the object-oriented method or object-oriented style in the Matplotlib in Python. Now, if you see, uh, all the data points are of the same color. Now, if you want to distinguish the color of the data points based on specific column, let's say region in this case, because as you know, region is a categorical column that we did earlier. So we can specify different colors. Let's say we have a colors, which is a dictionary, and we are setting colors, different colors for different regions. Let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the regions, and we are setting red, blue, black, and green colors. So what we have, and we want these data points that whichever data point belongs to region 1 should be represented with the red color. Similarly for region 2 should be represented with blue color, and so on. So we have created this dictionary. It's the same thing now. To start with, figure comma axis, which is plt dot subplots. So this returns a figure and returns an axis that we actually store in this figure comma ax. Now again, ax is an axis. We want to plot the scatter plot. So we say ax dot scatter. The column on the x-axis, the column on the y-axis. Data is from this particular data frame df. Now important point is color. So we are representing color using this parameter c. So c equals to df dot region. So color should be picked up from df dot region, and then we are applying a map function to it, and we are passing a dictionary colors. So what will happen, all the region values which are coming from df dot region, they will be mapped using this colors dictionary. So one will get mapped to red, and two will get mapped to blue, three to black, and four value will get mapped to green color. So accordingly, this mapping of the region will happen with a specific color. And then again, we are setting the X label, Y label, and the title using ax dot set underscore X label, ax dot set underscore Y label, and ax dot set underscore title. And then we are saying plt dot show, that is plot to be shown, and that's how the plot gets represented. So if you see, there are different colors now, and these colors are coming based on the region that we have specified. So just couple of syntactical differences that we need to notice between the MATLAB style and the object-oriented style. So in the MATLAB style, everything starts with PLT, whereas in the object-oriented we have to specify the axis. Now, to set the labels or titles, there is a different syntax or different functions. For example, in MATLAB style, it's simply saying like plt.xlabel, plt.ylabel, plt.title, whereas in the object-oriented style, we have to specify functions like axis.set underscore x labels, axis.set underscore y label, and axis.set underscore title. The thing with the object-oriented style is that it allows you more control, and you can uh, manipulate the plots even at a very granular level compared to the MATLAB style. So, okay, we have covered the scatter plot. Next, we are going to cover the line plot. So, in line plot, again, we are first starting with the MATLAB style. So, what is a line plot? Basically, it represents a relationship between two variables, and instead of just representing dots, what we are doing here is we are representing relationship in the form of a line. Now, in this particular plot, we are displaying two things. One is these this line, which is a dotted line, and at the same time, we are also showing the dots or the markers. So how do we create this plot? So we'll say plt.plot, which this is a MATLAB style, plt.plot, the column on the x-axis, the variable on the x-axis, and the variable that should come on the y-axis. Now marker equals to O. So these circles that you're seeing, these are called as the markers, and we have specified these markers to be represented as O, that is the circle. That's why you are seeing here is circles. If we specify another character like D, then it will come as diamond, and similarly we can create squares and other shapes. Line style is how the line should be represented. Here we have given as 2 dash. It means the line should be represented as dash line instead of the solid line, and the data is coming from this data frame. And rest of the things are same. We are setting the X label, Y label, plt.x label, plt.y label based on the columns that we have selected, and then we are selecting the title of the plot and just displaying it using plt.show. So that's how we create a line chart, and it's clearly we can see that there is an increasing trend between workforce and the income, and they are kind of directly related to each other, these variables. The same thing we can present using the object-oriented style. What we have to do is, again, to start with, we have to say plt dot subplots, and as you know, this returns figure and axis, which we have to capture it in another variable, fig comma axis. Now, in the object-oriented style, as we know, everything starts with the axis, so we have to specify this axis ax dot plot. So on the variable that should go on the x-axis, then the variable should go on the y-axis, our workforce and income respectively. The style is the style of the line is we are specifying using line style. So line style equals to double quotes, and then the color of the line is blue, okay, and data is coming from data frame. Now in the same axis, we want to plot another, which is a scatter plot. So this was the line plot, and now so the line actually came because of this particular code. Now in order to plot the dots or the scatter plot, we have to use ax dot scatter, the same x and the y variables. Just this time we are changing marker to O. Color is black because we want to represent these circles with a black color, and data is again coming from the same data frame. Then we are simply setting X label, Y label, and the title, and just displaying it. So that's how we can create a line plot. So this is kind of a combination of two plots, line plot as well as a scatter plot. So we know that this line is formed using these dots. So that's how we can see, okay, what are the actual data points, and the line represents kind of a trend between these two variables. Now, if let's say there is a requirement to plot, let's say two plots next to each other, something like this. So we have plot 1 and we have plot 2. So we want to plot it next to each other. Then in this case, we have to use a concept which is called as the subplots. So I'm using this in an object-oriented fashion because I think that is more uh, uh, better approach to use this for plotting in the matplotlib. So again, we are saying plt.subplots. Now in this subplot, we there is only one row, this one row, and there are two columns. So we are specifying number of rows as one and number of columns is two. So it means it will create subplots, that is two subplots in the same row. And the figure size we are specifying as 8 by 6. So 8 by 6 is the total figure size, and we are again storing the result in the figure and fig and ax variables. Now since we are creating two subplots because we have specified 1 comma 2, so there will be two axes. One axis is this one and other axis for the other plot. So for the first plot axis, because there are two, so it's like an array is returned, so which and individual axis we can access via array and providing the index number 0 and 1. So for the first plot, axis will be will be represented by ax and with the index 0, and rest of the things will be same, like we are specifying the scatter plot between these two variables, workforce and income, and setting the x label and y label. Similarly for AX1, we are specifying the scatter plot between hospital beds and physicians, and we are setting the X label and Y label. Now, thing to notice for this particular, by default, if you see by default, uh, on the Y-axis, you get the labels and ticks on this particular side, left side. Now for this particular plot, if we had printed everything on this side, then it would have overlapped with this particular plot. Now we want for the plot which appears on the right hand side, that the y-axis labels and text should appear on the right hand side, so that both are easily distinguished and there is no overlap of these labels with this particular plot. So how do we set it? We have to specify axis, that is ax1, that is which represents the axis for this particular plot. Then we have to say y-axis, that is axis dot y-axis set underscore label underscore position. So we are setting the label position on the right side. So axis dot y-axis dot set label position as right. Okay, so labels will be on the right side, and at the same time we also want these ticks to be also on the right side. So we say axis dot y-axis dot tick underscore right. So the ticks will also appear on the right side. So in this way, we can present two charts next to each other, and we can also make the y-axis ticks and the labels to appear on the right hand side so they don't overlap each other. We'll cover more in the next session. Thank you for now.